What's good, everyone? Anderson Emerald here to talk about the Zurich Diamond League going down this Wednesday and Thursday in Zurich, Switzerland. Now, you've already hopefully watched the women's preview that I did earlier today. Definitely check that out if you haven't. But today we're talking about the men's preview of the sprints, the hurdles, and the jumping events going down at this Diamond League final. There's various different things that are on the line when it comes to wild cards and qualification for the world champs. Also, some athletes trying to put down some really strong markers after either some time away or, to reassert themselves or to re-prove to the world why they deserve to be in a conversation. But let's dive right in. And I think here we have to start off with the men's 200 meters, as this is definitely the most high profile race, I would say, on the sprints, hurdles, and jump side because of the names that we have competing. Noah Lyles, the defending world champion from 2023, he is competing here. You also have Letsile Tebogo, the defending Olympic champion in the 200. Both of them already met earlier this year at the Monaco Diamond League. We'll talk about, what both of them have to, what they're trying to showcase here. But they're going up against Alexander Ogando. You have Kyrie King. You have Robert Gregory. You have Joe Fambule. You have Udodi Onwuzurike. You have Rainer Mena. So this is actually a very strong field, but similar to, like I said, for the women's 100, I see three different storylines playing out here in this men's 200. First off, just some context on Noah versus Letsile. They did race last time at the Monaco Diamond League where Noah was able to get the win running 19.8, just ahead of Letsile's 19.9. Now, Letsile, he actually had before that run 19.76 to win the Prefontaine Classic, but we actually haven't seen Letsile race over the past month or so, I think since the London Diamond League on July 19th. Whereas Noah, he's been running the 100 pretty frequently. He also ran the 200 at USA's, running 19.63, and he's been running the 100 on the circuit. So three different stories. First off, Noah Lyles. Second, Letsile Tebogo. And then third, the rest of the field. Noah Lyles. Now, Noah has a few things that I'm going to be looking out for when it comes to this field. Will he be able to take down Letsile Tebogo comfortably, or will it still be a relatively close race? Or will we see something for the entire rest of the field where he's just like far and away? Because again, he's run 19.63 seconds, which is the world leading performance. Of course, he beat out Kenny B at the USA Championships. He's, of course, faster than Letsile Tebogo this year as well. So, and obviously no one else has, been able to touch that in their careers in this field. So excited to see what Noah can do. But I'm also interested to see if, weather is so depending, but is he able to put something down that will give an indication on what he'll be able to do in 100 meters? Because when I personally look at the 200, as it stands right now, I would say that Noah Lyles is the favorite. I know I got a little bit of flack saying he's like the clear favorite, but I think I can comfortably say that he is the favorite for the 200, considering he's beat out his two toughest competitors in Letsile and in Kenny. Now, anything can happen. I'll do my full predictions next week, but if he puts down a performance here in the 200 of 19.5 or 19.4 or something like that, that might give some strong indicators about what he's more than capable of in the 100, because he lost the 100 to Kishane Thompson in Silesia. He then lost the 100 again in Lausanne, where it was like terrible weather, to Oblique Seville. Both of them clearly got the wins there, but he's had a slower start to the season in like May or June, with a foot injury. So he's had to, take some time to be able to ramp things back up. If his last race before the World Championships is, again, a 200 in like 19.5 or 19.4, again, weather, depending, et cetera, that would give a strong indication to me personally on what we might be looking forward to when talking about the 100 as well. Yes, come for me if you want. This is the 200. I know. It is what it is. But that's what I'm looking at with Noah Lyles. After that, Letsile Tebogo. Interesting storylines here as well. Can he actually take down Noah Lyles? Can he turn the tables on what happened at the Monaco Diamond League? Can he run faster, weather depending, than his 19.76? One thing to remember, as I said, he has not raced since the London Diamond League, which was on July 19th. So we're talking over a month at this point. I'm also not sure of his, health status to a degree, because early in the year, he was dealing with, I think, a hamstring injury or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. So he took some time off, about a month or so, maybe a little over a month. That was after the Rabat Diamond League. He then showed up at Prefontaine and ran this 19.76. But then when we got to the London Diamond League, he ran the 100 and did very, very poorly there. And now we haven't seen him since, and now this is going to be the first time. So is it maybe the injury got re-aggravated? Is it that he just planned to take this time off? I don't know, but we'll actually see here. And is he going to be ready to do a double? I just put out a video about how Letsile, Kenny, and Noah are ones who are very capable of running a full double and at the World Championships and doing very well in a 200 at the end of it. Is Letsile going to be ready for that if there were some, setbacks through the year? I don't know, but I'm excited to see what he can do here, again, against Noah Lyles, and then, of course, against the rest of the field. That's going to be very telling. Finally, the rest of the field. Everyone else in the field is fighting for, some good performances, whether that's Alexander Ogando, whether that's, Robert Gregory and Joe Fambule, who are going to be at the World Champs, even Reina Mena, who are going to be at the World Champs and are trying to put down markers to show, listen, I deserve to be here, right? Or is it someone like Kyrie King? He's not going to be at Worlds, but of course he's always on the circuit. Can he put something down to, just end off his season on a positive note? And then also Udodi Onwuzurike. Interesting situation. Shout out to Nigeria not showing the flag for whatever reason. He didn't get the world standard, which is 20.16 seconds. He just missed it running 20.17, I think about a week on, I think it was August 16th or 17th, something like that. Now, he is, I think, like there's 25 people ahead of him on the road to Tokyo rankings, but there's like a whole bunch of people who will likely drop out. I don't know if 25 people are going to drop out. I think I counted, it was like there's 13 Americans who are not running the 200, so that's at minimum. But I don't know if he's actually going to get into world rankings. And like, I don't know. We'll see if Udodi actually does make it to the world championships. I'm not sure, but it would suck if he's not, but who knows? We'll see what actually does happen. So shout out to the men's 200. Let's move over and talk about the men's 100, which we also do have here. Not as high profile, but some strong names that are really going to be, some interesting storylines as well. Jeremiah Azu just got the world championship qualifying standard of 9.97 seconds. Akeem Blake already made the team to Worlds. He's looking to, put something down. He's actually the defending Diamond League champion. Trayvon Bromell, Christian Coleman, Brandon Hicklin, all of them missed the USA team. Specifically, Trayvon and Christian literally finished 4th and 5th place, running 9.84 and 9.86. Like, insane. How can they actually fare here? Sean Masongani, you have Akani Simbine, you have Bayanda Walaza. Gonna be interesting to see how everyone does here. In terms of the guys who are going to Worlds, Akani Simbine, this is a race that on paper, Akani should, if not needs to win. Because if he's thinking about getting a medal at the World Championships and being competitive with Kashane Thompson, with Oblique Seville, with Noah Lyles, with Kenny B, with Courtney Lindsay, like with whoever, then he needs to really show up here. Because in the most recent races, he lost to all those guys I mentioned. I think he did beat Courtney in Lausanne, but he needs to show up. He had an amazing start of the season. Now the second half hasn't looked as good. What can Akani do here? You have Bayanda Walaza. At the Brussels Diamond League, he was in the promotional or invitational 100 meters. He did okay. Gift, his other compatriot from South Africa, beat him out, but the time was okay. Second half of the season hasn't been as great for him, but we'll see what actually happens. Sean Masongani, I don't think he's running the 100 at Worlds. He might be doing the 200. South African people, let me know in the comments. And then you have Akeem Blake. He's going to be, of course, looking, I'm always saying it, his goal is to make the final. He has not made a world championship final, but in a race like this, can he win again? Maybe. Who knows? Can he win another Diamond League title? Who knows? Jeremiah Azu just needs another good showing. He's going to Worlds. Now, Trayvon and Christian, they're both in the relay pool. I don't know if they'll actually, I'm assuming Christian will definitely run the relay. I've already put out my relay picks. I hope Trayvon is on that too. But what can they do here? Can they run another 9.8 or better here? Can they just put something down like, hey, listen, we're done with the year. Let's throw it all down. Can they do something special? I'll be interested to see that. And then, of course, Brandon Hicklin as well. What can he put down? So interesting storylines in this men's 100. Let's move over. Men's 400. We have some wild cards on the line. And I think there's a good shot that, it might happen here. Now, Chris Bailey, I'll just start with, the Americans for a second. Chris Bailey, you have Ja'Cory Patterson, and Vernon Norwood, the three Americans in this field. If any of them wins this Diamond League final, Vernon Norwood gets a spot to the World Championships. He was 4th place at USA's. There's a very good chance that happens. Why? Chris Bailey. The only people that Chris Bailey has lost to this year were Matthew Hudson-Smith finishing 2nd place at the Prefontaine Classic, and then Bapu Ndori finishing 2nd place at the, I think it was the 2nd Chinese Diamond League meet early in the year. And we've seen what Bapu Ndori, shout out to Bapu. He's an amazing athlete, amazing person, but he just hasn't had as great of a season outside of what we saw early on. So I'm not as confident in him. Ja'Cory Patterson, we just saw him dominate the Brussels Diamond League. Literally dominate the Brussels Diamond League. Like, he's on one right now. I said it in my recap video where I think he's on pace for a medal. Now, I'll have to like parse things out, especially after this, but he's looking good. Vernon Norwood, he also was second to Jokori. So he's someone who's also in the conversation. But then you look at Muzala Samukonga. He didn't do well at the Brussels Diamond League in the 400, but at the Hungary Continental Tour, he did run 44.11. So he's someone who, and he got the bronze medal at the Olympic Games last year. Like, he can really, shake things up here. Kebenat Chippy, he's had also up and down season, so little mixed. We'll see. Alexander, he did well let me not say well, he did decent, pretty good in Brussels overall, in context, but we'll see how he actually does play out. So this is an interesting, and then even Daniel, you can never count out running 44.6. So it's an interesting field. I do feel pretty, this is what I'll say. I think Muzala, Jokori, or Chris are probably going to get the win. One of those four. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. So we'll see. Shout out to this. I want Vernon to go to Worlds. That's what I want. I want Vernon to get to Worlds. So, it is what it is. Men's 400 meter hurdles. I want to talk about this as it's we're not getting the matchups that we probably want. We are only seeing Karsten Warholm here. We're not seeing Alison dos Santos, and we're not seeing Rai Benjamin. I didn't expect Rai Benjamin to show up, but for some reason I thought that, Alison dos Santos would show up. But it is what it is. Karsten Warholm, he is coming off running 46.28 seconds, which is the third fastest time in the history of the 400 meter hurdles, only behind his world record of 49.94 from the Tokyo Olympic Games, and behind Rai Benjamin's 46.17 from the Olympics behind him as well. Karsten Warholm, clear favorite. I mean, I don't know. Someone is going to have to wish for him to false start or hit a hurdle. Maybe even if he hits a hurdle, right? I don't know. But he is the favorite here. I'm just interested to see what he does. Does he go, all out and just absolutely dominates the field, runs, I don't know, does he run 45? I don't know what he's able to do. Or does he just win it conservatively in preparation for the world champs? Look out for Trevor Bassett. He is looking for a wild card, similar to CJ Allen. I'd say Trevor Bassett might be in a slightly better position just based on recent races, but all due respect, shout out to you, Trevor, but it's I'm not picking anyone against Karsten. Samba and Ezekiel Nathaniel. Ezekiel Nathaniel, he won the Lausanne Diamond League ahead of Trevor Bassett, who ran 48.14, 4 seasons best. But Ezekiel Nathaniel has been absolutely on one, and he's consistent. Again, I think he's after the big three, he's the next top guy right now. He's going to be in Worlds, of course, but man, shout out to Ezekiel Nathaniel. He's been having a dream season so far. Abdurrahman Samba, he's of course the guy who kind of quote unquote started everything off with his 46.98 back in 2018. He also has run 47.09, which is the second fastest time of his career. He ran that this year. So don't be surprised. Let me not say. I'm gonna do predictions next week. Samba might mess around and spoil something around here. I don't know. We're going to see. But shout out to him. Again, CJ Allen, he's looking to see what he can do here. And the rest of the guys, you have Matthias, all these guys are in the conversation, but this is all about Karsten Warholm and what can he do in this Diamond League final. Next up, men's 110 meter hurdles. This is a decently competitive field across the board, but I do think this is about Cordell Tinch. What can Cordell Tinch do here in his final competition before the World Championships? I said it after Lausanne that I personally think he's the favorite for the gold medal based on he ran sub 13 seconds, 12.98 seconds in the pouring rain in Lausanne. And he's already run 12.87 earlier this year. Cordell is rounding into perfect form. Perfect form. This is going to be interesting. So we'll see how he does here. You have Ratchet Muratake coming off his 12.92. Now, he's had an interesting year where he's run a bunch of races against these guys, finishing decently well. I think he's finished no lower than 4th. Paris Diamond League, I think he was 4th. I think the Rome Diamond League, or I think it might have been Monaco Diamond League. But regardless, he's been having a pretty good year, and if you run 12.92, you are having a good year. So shout out to him and what he's able to do. It'll be interesting as he does lead into World Champs, which is at home in Japan, how he kind of stamps himself in his last competition beforehand. And then the rest of the field, Trey Cunningham, he didn't do well at the last Diamond League in Lausanne. Not he didn't do well, but he didn't get the win. So we'll see how he does play out here. Of course, he missed a team, unfortunately. Freddie Crittenden also unfortunately didn't even make the final at the USA Champs. So just competing to be in the Diamond League final here. Jamal Britt, he also hit a hurdle at USA Champs in the final. So that's an interesting thing. Orlando Bennett, if he wins this, then the fourth placer from the Jamaican National Championships will get the wild card. The only problem is Orlando Bennett hasn't been looking great in these past couple Diamond Leagues and just all these past couple races, you know. So we'll see how he does play out. And shout out to Jason Joseph, Enrique Lopez. So very strong field, but Cordell Tinch. I'm looking at Cordell Tinch and I'm looking at Moritake. Those are the two guys who I have my eye on. What are they able to do? What are they able to do? It's going to be interesting. Now, two field events I do want to take a look at. The men's long jump. This is actually on Wednesday. So all the running events are on Thursday. We have the men's long jump and some other field events on Wednesday. Here, Wayne Pinnock, we have Kerry McLeod, we have Miltiades Tentaglu, we have Mattia Farlani, we have Liam Addock, and we have Samit Nieheimer. All these guys are high quality. Literally all high quality. I'm going to be honest, all these guys can win gold medals. The gold medal at the World Championships in next month. All of them can. But Tentaglu, he's probably in the driver's seat. I think he's been the most dominant. There's an argument that he's like second or third all time. Third, I don't know. He's one of the greatest long jumpers of all time. But he's looking pretty good. He's been decent. Kerry McLeod, I'm sorry, all these guys. I'll get back to that in a second. Kerry McLeod, he's going for a gold medal as well. I just hesitate now because Wayne Pinnock, he's not competing for Jamaica anymore. So he can't win a gold medal at the World Championship. Sorry, transfer to Turkey. It is what it is. But he could also win this competition, right? Kerry McLeod, he can win this, which will be interesting. If he wins, I think another Jamaican will get a wild card to Worlds. So I think so, right? Yeah, I think that might happen. So that'll be interesting. Mattia Farlani, he got the bronze medal at the Olympics last year. You have Simon Ehammer. You have Liam. This is a stacked field, man. This is a good men's long jump field, and I'm excited. It's hard to pick a gold medal favorite going into Worlds, but this competition, I said Tentaglu, but you know, this competition may turn the tides. I don't know. We'll see. Last one is the men's triple jump, and this is actually a pretty interesting field because we're gonna get to see Pedro Pichardo, who I need to cross-check, but we haven't seen him in a while. We're going to see Hughes Zengo. This is his retirement season. He's been, you know, just rounding out the circuit, about to end off his career, which is, he's had a legendary career. He's a defending world champion. You have Jordan Scott, who I think, by all measures, is the favorite going into the world champs, considering his consistency this year. Andy Diaz-Hernandez, world indoor champion and bronze medalist from last year. You also have Tricky, who's been, you know, one of the more consistent guys on the circuit. And shout out to Kingley, not like in terms of the you know, performances this year. He's not competing with some of the other guys, but there's an interesting field across the board. What can Jordan Scott do? Can he finish off his Diamond League season with a win, a Diamond League title, and propel himself to, you know, momentum going into the world champs? Or are we going to see Pichardo, the previous Olympic champion and the reigning Olympic silver medalist? Can we see him do something special? Can Tricky really, you know, step things up? Can Zango, you know, again, get a Diamond League win in his final season? Can Diaz-Hernandez, can he step things up? Who knows? But very interesting men's triple jump across the board. But that is the Zurich Diamond League. Just a quick preview. This was the men. Check out the women's preview that I already did. What are you most looking forward to at the Zurich Diamond League across the board? Let me know. Go in the comments. Always going to try and engage with y'all. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Truly appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.